Hey guys, it's Mr. Lallemand again, and we are going to do another lesson. This is going to be a drawing lesson, and it's going to be something that's kind of related to an optical illusion. Some of you may have seen this type of drawing online or seen other people working on it, but I'm just going to show it to you. It's real quick, and it's just kind of fun. It's going to be involving my hand. This one, it's got a scratch on it. We are going to be tracing. So anyone can do this. My pre-kindergartners, anybody that wants to do it can do this lesson. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to trace it, okay? Now when I trace it, I want to get part of my arm too. Okay, so I'm going to trace my arm a little. I'm going to go around each one of my fingers. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see mine is not perfect. But now what I'm going to do, when I go to color this in, I'm going to have a line pattern going on, okay? So in my line pattern, here's my hand. I'm going to start drawing lines across my paper to make some stripes. Real easy, real quick. Okay, now when my stripes get to a finger, I'm not just going to hop over it, I'm going to make kind of a bump. So watch this. Here comes a line, this finger gets in the way, I'm going to make a bump, keep going. That got in the way, I made a bump, keep going, make a bump, and then keep going. Then this line gets going. There's a bump there. There's a bump here. There's a bump there. There's a bump there, and I keep going. So I keep doing that as I go across the hand. Anytime something gets in the way, I just make a bump. Okay? Anytime something gets in the way, I'm just making a bump. Now, you're going to be working on a table. Your lines are going to be much straighter than my lines, okay? Because I'm working on a wall right now. Now, when I have a big space like that, I'm going to make a big bump, okay? Because my bumps need to stay inside of the object I'm working on. There's a bump there. So anytime I hit an object, I'm going to make a bump going over it. It's real easy. There's a bump there. Real simple. You see my bumps? And you can take your time to really make sure those lines are straight, and whenever you're making your bump, that you're staying inside of that shape. Okay, you see how that hand sort of now has this sort of a little bit of a three-dimensional look to it. Now, when I color, I want to color in a pattern, okay? And I like to use opposite colors. So here, one color I'm going to use is orange, and its opposite color on the color wheel is blue, okay? They sort of line up on the color wheel. A little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to start coloring in my stripes. And when I'm coloring, I want to stay inside of that stripe, inside of that bump. Okay? I want to make sure I'm following what this line is doing, what this pattern is doing. Staying inside the bumps. If you make a mistake and there's a straight line like you see right there, it's not a big deal. You can either go back and fix that, or you could leave it. Most people aren't even really going to notice that. But I want to stay in the use of a pattern. You could use more than two colors in a pattern, but if you remember, we need at least two colors to make a pattern. And probably the simplest pattern is that A-B pattern that we talk about, where we have just two things, two colors. And in this case, these colors are filling lines or stripes, okay? So think about the colors that you want to use in your patterns. Think about the type of line you're making, how far apart you want those lines. The closer you put your lines in, the closer the shapes are, I think the better the design works out. It really looks cool when you do that, okay? So go ahead and try this one and have some fun with it.